Last week I shared how to make Asian chicken meatballs for meal prep. Today I want to show how I repurpose those chicken meatballs into quick and nutritious meals that don't compromise on flavor.
So here are 4 simple and tasty meals that you can make throughout the week using those chicken meatballs. I'm going to start with the most effortless recipe. Let's make this delicious sourdough chicken meatball sandwich. This is the laziest recipe whenever I'm short on time or not in the mood for a complicated cooking. I'm gonna start with a protein. I'm using air fryer to cook. You can also use an oven for clean and effortless cooking. Now I'm gonna add some cut cherry tomatoes to cook with our chicken meatballs for the sauce of juiciness in our sandwich. Oops, that's what I'm talking. Cut them in half and let them cook alongside the meatballs at 200 Celsius for 12 to 15 minutes in the air fryer or oven. It's really minimal preparation to make sandwich, unless you just bought a loaf of uncut sourdough bread like I do today. I'm gonna slice them up. I just need 2 to 4 slices and the rest will go into the freezer. Now let's toast them to get that scrumptious, crunchy bite. Once the chicken meatballs and tomatoes are cooked, let's start assembling our sandwich. I'm gonna go with multiple colors for a filling, and green is a must. A classic lettuce or spinach if you like, some shredded purple cabbage for some crunch, a bit of carrot sliced thinly and then cut in julienne. You'll only need a pinch because you don't want to crowd the sandwich. And coriander for a boost of refreshing flavor with some anti-inflammatory benefits. And top it with our chicken meatballs with this nicely charred cherry tomatoes. Add a dash of Sriracha sauce for some spicy kick, and that is all. A well-balanced sandwich with Asian twist. Next up, chicken meatballs noodle soup.
I'm not sure about you, but soup is always my go-to comfort food.
Especially during rainy seasons like this. I'm using 5 different types of veggies in this recipe. Shiitake mushroom cut in slices, carrot cut in julienne or matchstick, some cabbage cut in bite size, and bok choy with their butt chopped off because I'm not a fan. Oh, and spring onion. I separate the white and green part because white for sauteing and I'm gonna leave the green for garnish. For the noodles, I'm using brown rice noodles. And since they tend to expand, I'm just gonna use half of it. Now this noodle need to be soaked in lukewarm water to soften for 10 minutes before adding them to cook. While waiting for that, I'm gonna start making our soup.
The base of good Asian soup always starts with sauteing aromatics.
Like these white parts of spring onion and thinly chopped garlic. I'm adding a tablespoon of light olive oil, heating it over medium heat in a pot or saucepan. Once hot, bring the spring onion in. Stir until it gets a bit translucent. And bring it to chopped garlic. You want to continue stirring until they both brown at the same time. Once they're nicely fragrant and slightly brown, pour a cup of whole-made chicken stock. To make the nourishing soup, it's important to use all natural, low sodium with no added preservative and MSG. 1.5 cups of water. And our star ingredients, chicken meatballs. These chicken meatballs are already seasoned, so they add extra flavoring to the soup without the use of soy sauce. 1 to 2 pieces of kombu for a source of natural umami flavor. Because carrot will take time to soften, add them earlier to cook with the meatballs. I'm also adding white pepper and a splash of sesame oil for that authentic Asian flavor. Leave it to boil for about 5 minutes over high heat. And once you see the chicken meatballs floating, it's time to add the rest of the soft vegetables. The thing about cooking vegetables is they see a lot before you cook. You think it might be too much, but it's really not. So don't get fooled by that. Now use a spatula to help them to submerge. 10 minutes passed, so back to the noodles. Strain them in a strainer and transfer them straight into our soup. Use your spatula to help to submerge them and cook for about 3 minutes. Garnish with green onions and it's good to go.
Next up,
Quinoa brown rice with stir-fried veggies. I use this quinoa brown rice and I meal prep for freezing on the weekend. It helps me so much to eat a healthier source of grain. I don't need to soak them or cook them for an hour each time. Once you have them frozen in bulk and portioned, all you have to do is heat them in a microwave with a small cup of water to transfer the moist, and it can be enjoyed within 1 to 2 minutes.
In case you're thinking of swapping white rice for a better choice, I shared this recipe in the description below.
Before I start cooking the stir-fried veggies, I'm gonna pop this chicken meatballs in the air fryer to cook and be ready at the same time as the veggies. These are the veggies that I'm using: China cabbage, carrot cut in matchstick, sliced bell pepper, shiitake mushroom, and onion. Also the green part of spring onions. I'm using a non-stick pan since we're cooking with less oil. First, I'm gonna heat the olive oil in a pan over medium to high heat. Then I'm gonna add veggies that take longer to cook. Give them a stir until they're slightly soft. And I'm gonna chop the garlic to flavor our veggies. You can also grate them if you like the garlic flavor stronger. Into the pan and continue to stir, letting the garlic mingle with the others. And when the veggies look nicely charred and a bit soft, it's time to add the soft veggies in.
My secret to stir frying with less oil is adding a bit of liquid.
Like this homemade chicken broth here. I'm also gonna season them at this time with a bit of white pepper,
A pinch of salt,
and some sesame oil. Stir to let all flavor mix and cover with a lid so they make a nice steam. You want to leave it for about 2 to 3 minutes for the veggies to steam, and it's ready. Don't forget to toss in green onions.
At this time, the meatballs should be ready and you can enjoy them while still warm. See, meal prep doesn't really have to be cool and boring. The last one for this video is colorful salad slaw with sweet potato fries. It's very easy to make, but if you have the right basic tools, it's gonna help a lot. I'm gonna start with air-fried sweet potato fries.
First, of course, you'll need to peel the skin, wash the sweet potato, and dry it with a towel. I'm gonna slice it about 1 cm thickness. You wanna make them slightly bigger than a standard fry size to get that crispy on the outside and soft on the inside, especially when air frying. Now stack them together to cut in sticks. Once done, I'm transferring them into air fry basket. For seasoning, I'm gonna sprinkle them with a generous amount of Cajun spice and a little bit of pink salt. If you want them to cook nicely, you can spray them with avocado oil before you sprinkle the season. This is just my lazy way to do it with less ingredients. Cook at 12 minutes at 200 Celsius. Meanwhile, we're gonna cook the chicken meatballs into the oven and cook for 12 minutes over 220 Celsius. Now the salad slaw. I'm gonna start with purple cabbage. I always prefer to use a mandolin slicer when cutting a cabbage for slaw. It's not just easier, but it gives this perfect tiny strands. I saw some people using a peeler and that works great too. I also use it for carrot to get the tiny slices before I cut them into super thin julienne. Yellow bell pepper adds a dose of vitamin C to this salad and it makes a crunchy addition.
Remove the seed and I'm slicing them with the same method.
The last one is green lettuce. Finely chop them and toast them in the bowl. You can swap this with spinach for a milder choice of greens. Moving on to seasoning. I like adding pickled red onion.
It helps flavor up any raw salad.
Next, vinegar. My husband is the one who introduced me to this grape vinegar and now I use it with most of my raw salad. Splash of extra virgin olive oil and some pinch of pink salt. There is a reason why I use a container instead of a bowl so that I can do this. Anyway, I need to keep them in the fridge because as much as I eat a lot of veggies, there's no way I can finish this in one meal. I hope you enjoyed the recipes. If you find this video useful, do consider liking and subscribing to my channel if you haven't. Till next time! Peace.